Hi, today we're going to learn about balancing chemical reactions. I personally like to use what's called the seesaw method. It's kind of just going back and forth between each of the elements. So first, we're going to review it, identify the type of reaction. So the type of reaction here, right, we would figure out by knowing that we have one compound reacting with another compound, and we can see that they traded partners. Calcium is now partnered with bromine, and sodium is now partnered with hydroxide. And so we learned yesterday that that is a double replacement reaction, right? All right, so now let's balance the reaction. Taking one element at a time. We have one sodium here. On the right-hand side, we have one sodium over there. On the left, we have one bromine, but over here on the right, we have two bromine. So we have to put a 2 out front, and that multiplies that whole compound by 2, which now means you have 2 sodiums. Over here, we still have just the 1, so then we need to multiply this one by 2 as well. Now that we have 2 sodiums, that makes 2 hydroxides. But if we look on the other side, we see that we have 2 hydroxides there. And so that's balanced. And then finally, our calcium, we have 1 and 1. And so this is a balanced reaction. Let's look at another one. Here, what type of reaction do we have? We have a compound which contains carbon and hydrogen. It's reacting with oxygen and forming carbon dioxide and water. We learned yesterday that that is a combustion reaction, right? All right, so next let's balance our reaction. For combustion, I suggest starting with carbon and then doing hydrogen and leaving oxygen for last, simply because oxygen is in so many different places. So here we have our carbon, we've got 3 on the left. On the right, we only have 1, so we need to multiply that by 3. Then our hydrogen on the left, we have 8. On the right, we only have 2. So what number would multiply 2 to get 8? Right, that would be 4. Now we can count our oxygens. So let's start counting here. On the left-hand side, we have 2. On the right-hand side, we have 3 times 2, so we multiply, plus 4 times 1, which equals 10. So what number would we multiply by 2 to get 10? Right, it'd be a 5, so that 5 goes here. And that's balancing for combustion. Oops. All right, the next reaction, here we have an element reacting with a compound. That, as you recall from yesterday, is a single replacement reaction. Right, so in a single replacement reaction, we're going to still balance by doing one element at a time. We have 1 lead here. Over here, we have 3. So we would multiply here by 3. And then we can look at our hydrogens. We have 3 here and 2 over here. Well, if I have 3 and 2, how can I use multiplication to make those equal? Right, similar to what we did with our charges when we had a +3 and a -2, right? We make them 6. So we can multiply this guy by 2 and this guy by 3. Now our hydrogens are balanced. Now that means we have 2 phosphates because that's a whole unit, and again, it still multiplies that 2. Over here on the right, that 2 on the outside tells us we have 2. And so this reaction is balanced. Right? Looking at this one, we have again a compound reacting with a compound, and that lithium now has a new partner, nitrate, and the ammonium now has a new partner, nitride. So again, this is a double replacement reaction. All right, so we're going to balance. We have 3 lithium on the left, so we need to multiply over here, get 3 on the right. Then we have 1 nitrogen on the left. Over here we have 1 nitrogen there. Okay, I'm using these nitrogens separate from the nitrogens in the nitrate because that nitrate can be balanced as a whole unit. All right, so then here we have NH4, that's one of those NH4s. Over here we have 3 NH4s. So we would need to multiply this by 3. Now keep in mind that 3 also goes to the nitrate, but that's all right because over here I multiplied this nitrate by 3 already. and so this would be balanced. There is another method if you want, and I have linked that video in the Google Classroom assignment that if you want to watch it, you certainly can, just as see another way to do it. All right, so let's practice. Go ahead and pause, and then come back, and then we'll go through each one.